Welcome to the Coco Recovery Podcast.
The Coco Recovery Podcast presents the conversations of an informal group of friends gathered over coffee to discuss their current experience and recovery. The simple purpose of this podcast is to be helpful by sharing the realities of people living in recovery. The hosts and guests may or may not be practicing members of 12-step programs. The Coco Recovery Podcast is not affiliated with any organization, institution, or facility, neither endorses nor opposes any causes or approaches to recovery and rehabilitation. Whatever is expressed in the podcast represents our individual experiences and opinions as of today. Welcome, welcome, guys. Welcome to the Coco Recovery Podcast, second episode of the second season. Woohoo!
Right.
I am your co-host, Barbie.
And I'm Carbs.
And I'm Pirate Mike.
Woo!
Hey guys, so nice to see you again.
Great to be here.
What's
Yeah,
up?
but you know what? Tonight is extra special because we have a guest. You know, he's loved by all the members. I know he is. And his name is Sid. Welcome, Sid. Thanks for guesting on our show tonight.
Hi, good evening, everyone, and thank you so much for having me. Ayan, still nervous, but good evening. Good evening.
So, Sid, we invited you tonight so that you can share your journey with us with your recovery. We're hoping that you can share your experience, strength, and hope with everyone who is listening today.
Yeah, sure, of course, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to share my story with you guys. I don't think you've heard na my story, but yeah, I'm gonna be thorough from the very start. So
Yun.
Yes.
for as
we
long
love-
as I can remember.
Sige. Yan ang gusto namin. No, but then what can you tell us a little bit, a brief history of how this all came about and how, you came into recovery and, just
Yeah.
that.
Okay, so I came into the program in 2019 actually, and the first meeting that I went to is actually not AA but NA. So the story
yeah.
was I knew I had a problem with drugs, and so one night, one weekend in Singapore, I was coming down from a weekend of heavily using and drinking. And all of a sudden, a friend of mine who I haven't spoken in so long messaged me, and randomly he asked, "How are you doing?" And nung time na yon, like sobrang down na ako. I really wanted to stop. I don't know how. So sinabi ko sa kanya, sabi ko like, I'm back at it again and I don't know how to stop. And sabi niya, why don't you go to a meeting? And I was like, what meeting are you talking about? Narcotics Anonymous. So I haven't heard of that one. So he sent me the link. I was in Singapore in that time. This was June of 2019. And nung time na yon, pauwi na ako in 2 or 3 days time sa Philippines. So what I did was, pagka uwi ko, sinearch ko agad yung first meeting that I can, attend. And yun nga, naka-attend na ako ng first meeting. And I thought, medyo ano pa ako nun eh. Sabi ko, so I read about Narcotics Anonymous. I read Alcoholics Anonymous only that time nung sinend na sa akin yung mga links. So ang question ko pa nun, sabi ko, how can these people help me? Pare-pareho kaming mga alcoholic, pare-pareho kaming addict, di ba? So, but nagpunta pa rin ako, and then I heard everyone's story and I was like, shit, I belong, So, but then on my first NA meeting, I didn't know that I was an alcoholic that time until I met a guy also in the room, and he introduced me to my very first sponsor. He's actually an American. He's been sober that time, I think mga 7 or 8 years. And then I told him my story na, kapag nalalasing ako, I look for, my drug of choice. And he said, oh, you have to come with me to an AA meeting. And that's doon ako nakapag-attend ng first AA meeting ko. This was in New Manila in nung June 2019 pa rin to eh. So yun yung first meeting ko. And then nung time na yon medyo hindi pa talaga ako to give up, seeing, kasi ang daming suggestions sa akin na parang don't go meet your friends, baguhin mo na yung lahat to, ganyan. So parang hindi pa ako
Yeah.
even drinking, So sabi ko, I only have problem with drugs, not with alcohol. Why would I give alcohol up, Pero anyway, I ever since naman nung time na yon, ang lakas ko na talaga uminom. But for me, I didn't think I had a problem with alcohol because everyone around me drinks, I even
Yeah.
my brother drinks more than I do. All my cousins drink more than I do. But my question is, how can they stop? And I couldn't, All I ever do was, pagpunta ng office, naalala ko, office ko pa that time sa Galleria eh. So every after work, diretso na ako kasi may Fridays dun eh. Kahit mag-isa ko, doon sa may bar, iinom ako beer. Tapos magte-text na ako, andito ako, why to join me, nightcap.
Mm-mm.
Tapos kung walang susunod, okay lang, di ba? And then, tuloy-tuloy na yun eh. I forgot to mention, na-mention ko na I didn't think that I had a problem with alcohol because back in my family, no one knew about AA. Or at least, I don't know anyone in my family who has been in a program. So, kasi laking Cagayan talaga ako eh. So, I don't think I knew about, recovery, AA, no one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's why hindi ko rin siya alam at all nung time na yun. There was actually help. So eventually 2019, 2020, tuloy-tuloy pa rin ako pero I kept on relapsing only because I wasn't working my steps and I wasn't doing the suggestions of my sponsor. Tuloy-tuloy talaga siya. And 2021 I was coming from a relapse. I had 1 month sobriety on my belt. I went to Dubai kasi pinadala ako ng company ko. So sabi ko that time medyo nagsawa ako sa programa kasi sabi ko maybe it's not for me. It's not working out. I've been trying for 2 years. I kept on relapsing. So sabi ko I'm just gonna do this on my own. I'm just not gonna drink, So I came to Dubai and guess what? 4 days in Dubai, I started drinking again. Sunod-sunod na naman yun, 3 weeks. Until one night, may na-meet akong guy. Kasi yun nangyayari sa akin eh. Kapag nalalasing, get on the app, get on Grindr, I have no self-respect. Alam mo yun, kung kanina ako makikipag-sex and all. And the guy offered me poppers. Sabi niya sa akin. Ako, sabi ko, don't you have anything stronger?
Oh ba? Don't you have anything stronger?
Yabang, di ba? Naglabas siya ng shabu. Oh my God. So sabi ko, lasing ako. Sobrang hilo ko. Sabi ko, I need to take this one. So yun, I was in Dubai. So,
Oh shit.
sobrang takot na takot ako. So after no, siguro mga 3 days akong hindi lumabas. So sabi ko, super, alam mo yun, back to that depressed stage again na sabi ko, gusto ko na mag-stop, pero I'm in Dubai, I can't go to a meeting here kasi takot ako eh, how
Yeah, illegal. Like will they kill you?
I'm not really sure to be honest. Pero they won't kill you, pero I think parang in prison for life.
Yeah.
Oh.
Wow.
So, kasi takot ako. Tapos, yun, inom pa rin. And until nag-decide ako na sabi ko, you know what, I'm gonna go back to the program. Ito pa, nakakatawa yung story ko when I decided to go back to the program. Sabi ko, okay, I'm gonna just check if merong malapit na meeting sa akin. And when I check, wala kang 1 kilometer away yung meeting location. Sabi ko, sige, baka may meeting tonight. Sakto, meron tonight. Sabi ko, Lord, parang mukhang kailangan na talaga akong bumalik dinatapos, sabi ko may mga numbers. Okay, last one. Nagbigay pa talaga ako ng condition sa sarili ko. Sabi ko, I'm gonna message these 3 numbers, okay? Kapag hindi nag-reply itong mga to, I'm not gonna go. And voila, all those 3 numbers replied. Sabi niya,
Wow.
meeting. Sabi ko, parang kailangan ko nang bumalik. So bumalik ako sa AA meeting and I've been sober since then. So,
wow.
Wow.
That was June 20 of 2021. So I've been sober for 3 years and 2 months now.
Wow,
Thank
congratulations.
you, thank you. And during that time, I decided talaga to go all out na talaga. I met my sponsor there. Sabi ko, I'm gonna give this one a try. Like, complete surrender. Whatever my sponsor will tell me, susundin ko talaga. As in,
Mm.
and I'm just really glad that, I met a lot of good recovery friends in Dubai na talagang we support each other because all of us are expats in Dubai, so we don't have families there. So parang
Yes.
pinaka-support group lang. Wala kami ibang tatakbuhan.
Were
Family
you like a Filipino
us.
community?
I was the only Filipino.
Oh,
Yeah,
Very
yeah.
amazing.
talaga?
Here's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing. A lot of them came up to me and sabi nila sa akin, "Oh, why don't you invite Filipinos? Because I know there's a lot of alcoholics." Yes, I would have, but I think this is an attraction, a program of attraction rather than promotion. So I can't just announce to the Filipino
Yeah,
community
yeah.
like, "Hey, I'm in recovery. Come," which eventually I did that. I started telling people, and I started with my friends in Dubai that I'm in the program, not because to promote the program, para lang malaman nila na if there's anyone who needs help as well,
Help. Mm-mm.
there's a way. Because you know what, to be honest, nung na-realize ko siya, sabi ko, I'm lucky that I have that friend who messaged me in Singapore noong 2019 because I didn't know anything about recovery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until he messaged me. So
Yeah.
there was this someone who spread the word. There's a program you can actually get help, and and it worked for me. So I'm glad. I'm glad. So that's my story.
But when you said that you got sober 2021, isn't that during the pandemic? During
Yes.
the pandemic.
No, nung nag-fly ako doon, yeah, during the pandemic. Actually, I was supposed to be in Dubai
Mm-mm.
for 2 months lang. Tapos,
Mm-mm.
2 days before my flight, close na lahat nila ng airport. Ay, no, not the airport, but all flights coming from the Middle East, hindi nila pinapasok sa Philippines because of.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
So, na-stuck ako doon eventually. So, and parang ako, sabi ko, shit, wala akong trabaho, my company didn't support me nung time
Yeah.
na yun. So, I relied lang talaga to the fellowship. Sabi ko, lahat binubuhos ko sa sponsor ko na buti na lang talaga I had the fellowship, who's been there to support me that time.
Dubai.
And when I think about it, actually, na-realize ko na there's actually a reason why my higher power made me stay in Dubai for a longer time, just for me to reach 1 year muna, get
Mm-mm.
sober. Doon ko na lang na-realize siya eh. Actually, maybe if I went back to the Philippines sooner, baka nag-relapse ako, I don't know.
Mm-mm.
But
Mm-mm.
yun yung isip ko eh, because I met a really good sponsor. I had a really good program in Dubai, and that's where I really got to know the program, and I got sober. So
Yeah. That's
yeah,
amazing. Kasi
1 year.
opposite naman ako. I relapsed during the pandemic. But it's also because I didn't have the support. I didn't know about the program. I didn't know any of these things. But since you knew, ayun, nakatulong talaga siya sa iyo. Kasi the pandemic was one of the, it was one of the most challenging times. And of course, in the Philippines, iba yung rules, di ba? Nakakulong kami. Dito sa Philippines, you were really better off in Dubai. So galing, galing. I didn't know this story of yours. This is the very first time I'm hearing it. So I'm really glad that you shared that with us.
Yeah.
Actually, I think nakatulong din nung time na yun that I didn't have a job in Dubai kasi parang it would force me to go to the meetings.
Yes, oo, may time ka.
So,
yeah.
Oo.
so sabi ko, I would go to the meeting than me being somewhere else, so.
Were they open? I mean, is it because I'm not familiar with the culture there. So do you feel as if you had to like hide away, or no naman, like open attendance and people were comfortable with public
It's an
places?
open attendance. It was in a hotel. So
Okay.
room of a hotel. So
Oh, that's great.
You stayed there for a year. You got stuck in Dubai for a year, or
so my story was, eventually nagstay na ako doon, nakahanap ako ng work, so nagtuloy-tuloy na. But eventually nung 2022, I was deported actually. So the rule kasi in Dubai, kapag when you apply for a residence visa, you do all this medical exam, for you to get the residence permit for you to stay there. The first time I tried, nag-fit yung medical exam ko, which surprisingly, nagulat din ako for myself kasi akala ko hindi. And well, I'm gonna tell you something, and the reason for that one is because I got deported because I was HIV positive. So I've always been since 2019. Even before coming to Dubai, I knew the rules of the Middle East na once you applied for residence visa, tapos kapag na-detect ka, you're gonna go home. Pero kasi a friend in recovery sabi niya sa akin, wala pa akong 1 year neto sabi sa akin na, try mo lang, baka hindi na nila i-check. So sabi ko, wala namang mawawala sa akin di ba? Kung ita-try ko, edi kung I just need to go back home, you know? I didn't even know na parang, you know, permanent ban, or I thought I was just gonna be sent home, ganyan. For some reason, yung first try ko, nakapasa ako. I don't know if you know, if you're aware about, kapag kasi HIV positive ka, once you do a test, even though you're on medication, even if ang status mo is undetectable na, if you do the HIV test, you would still test positive.
Like a trace amount, ganun.
Yes. Pero pag undetectable ka na kasi, parang super low na yung virus sa system mo that you cannot transmit it to anyone anymore.
Okay.
Kahit the blood transfusion or anything, wala na. So that's the meaning of you sa HIV and AIDS. So undetectable means untransmittable siya. Ganon.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. I didn't even know about that. I'm learning so much today.
Actually, nung na-realize ko nga din yon, maybe the reason na I got a fit on my medical exam on the first time, maybe because I needed more time in Dubai to get sober, to even reach one.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
You know, to finish my steps.
Yeah.
So I finished my steps in Dubai. Even before I reached 1 year, I made sure to finish my step before I reached my 1 year. So when I think about it, you know, sabi ko, oh my God, mukhang pinastay nga talaga ako sa Dubai to, you know, to get sober at least for a year, you know, and to fully, you know, get sober. So
yeah, God's timing talaga.
I know. Yeah.
So I'm gonna ask you a question, might be a hard one, but when you found out that you were HIV positive, did it make you want to drink more, and how did you feel during that time? Like, did you want to take more drugs, or like, do you think that was one of the reasons why you went on a rampage at that time?
And to be completely honest, hindi. Like, hindi ako nagulat sa result. Kasi I've been using drugs since 2016. I only took the test 2019. I got diagnosed in 2019. So nung nag-decide ako to take the test, sabi ko, kasi yung friend ko parang volunteer siya doon sa isang clinic back in our province, and kaya sige na, i-test ka na natin, ganyan. Sabi ko, sige, let's do it para lang, you know, for my own okay, if I'm positive, sige. If I'm not, you know.
Right.
Pero deep inside me, alam ko na talaga na positive ako kasi, my God, yung pinaggagawa ko ba naman when I was drinking, you know, sleeping with so many guys, unprotected sex, share needles, lahat yun. So, parang hindi na ako surprised na nag-positive ako. So, but before that time kasi parang nagbabasa na ako about HIV and all. So, even if you get it, you're gonna live, you're gonna help, you know. That's why I don't discuss it in my meetings, because I'm totally over it na. And actually I'm more open to telling people about it na, because you know, just to spread awareness na hindi na dapat siya katakutan. Actually,
Yes.
dapat nga, and ito, totoo to, na-realize ko lang to when I got it. Sabi sa akin, mas dapat matakot ka to have sex with someone who doesn't know their status than with someone who is positive but is taking medication.
Actually true.
So mas parang mas risky to have sex with someone na hindi niya alam kung positive ba siya or hindi, kasi hindi siya nagpapatest, than with someone na positive siya pero he's on medication or she's on medication. Kasi even though you have unprotected sex with that person, hindi ka na niya mahawan or anything. Compared with someone na
walang alam at whatsoever.
You know, so
that's really important. I mean, I know that you and I have had a sidebar about that before, no? But the advancements in terms of the medication and the treatments, like you said, with the U basically the undetectable, and then Just the fact that there doesn't need to be as much fear around transmission rates and things like that as there was before. Kasi laki pa rin ng stigma, no? Especially here,
Yeah.
right? And then other
Yeah.
places. And if you're not keeping, I mean, even though I was in the States for a long time, like I wasn't updated with all the advancements that they'd made, and it becomes unnecessary. You're just fanning the flames of parang hysteria.
Yeah. And the good thing
Education's
in the
good.
Philippines is that the medication is free. So,
Wow, huh?
Ah, talaga? Oh,
mm,
that's good.
Here?
Oh.
What?
it's free. Medication is free.
I'm like, in the Philippines?
The Philippines? Something is free?
Yeah.
Yo!
Yep.
Oh my gosh!
I'm like, DOH? Diyos ko.
Really?
Actually, yun din yung is as a reason sabi ko kung bakit siguro ako napauwi kasi feeling ko kasi ang hirap kasi my medication nung time na yon when I was living in Dubai are still coming from the Philippines. So parang ipadala yung contraband kasi bawal talaga. So
Oo nga.
I have some friends na, "Uy, can you bring something for me? It's just vitamins." Sorry, I had to lie about kasi
Mm-mm.
Oo. Parang smuggling.
Oo.
So maybe that's also the reason. Ang dami ko nang kinonect sa but it's
Yeah.
true. Maybe I was sent back home because medicines are free here
That's
and
so
all. But
great.
sorry, I forgot to mention kanina that when I got back home, before coming back home, ang dami kong relationship na nasira. Kung bumalik ako, kasi nung time na yon, dun ko ginawa lahat ng mga amends ko. So with my mom and dad, with my brother, lahat, inuna ko muna yung mga around my circle, my family. And then I went to my friends. So ang dami ko nagawang amends when I came back home. So sabi ko, oh my God, yun nga siguro yung reasons kung bakit, alam mo yun, napauwi ako and also
Yeah.
Yeah.
to finally move forward dun sa recovery ko. And so I have a really good relationship now with my parents. As in,
That's amazing. Oo,
You
parang
were
I feel
led.
like your life is like parang it's really God's timing, no?
Yeah.
With your recovery, tapos after you finish the steps, yun yung time na nakauwi ka. Tapos obviously, face-to-face na yan with your amends, right? So perfect talaga. And parang you were able to prove na rin to yourself and to your family na you've been sober for a while. 'Di ba? Kasi I was telling si Pirate Mike and Carbs na for me, parang feeling ko rin I had to wait like 1 year. Parang I don't know, for me lang, like I know that you're supposed to make amends as soon as possible, pero sometimes I want to prove to them muna na I've been clean for a while. Kasi they've heard it all before that this time, I'm gonna be clean, di na ako iinom, ganyan. But then it's like, yun, I always let them down. So parang pinakita ko muna sa kanila na, I've been clean, I'm in the program, I'm surrounded by good people. So when I finally made my amends, parang mas naniniwala sila, this time. Did you feel na parang ganon? They knew that you were sober for a year naman.
yeah. Oo. Naman talaga nila na actually yung parents ko na feel nila na ang laki ng pinagbago. So,
Oh, really?
Wow.
super.
But when you came back though, diba, for example, like you didn't, I mean, siguro you didn't have so much reservations of coming home, right? Pero
Kasi I
when
didn't
you
have a
got
choice.
home,
Walang choice.
wala ka ng choice.
Walang choice.
Sorry, wala na palang choice. So wala ka ng choice. Uwi ka.
Yeah.
Like, you were in Manila na, diba? You're here in
Yes.
Manila. And then, like, how was it like finding the fellowship here? Kasi iba yung sa Dubai, iba rin yung dito. So how did you fit yourself? How did you like, get into the program here naman?
Actually, the first thing I did was I searched for the meeting. Kasi yung meetings that I go to before in New Manila, wala na. Tapos, they don't have face-to-face na. And
Yeah,
since I
after
got sober
lockdown.
in Dubai, I decided, I'd stick to AA fellowship program. Oh, I still go to the other fellowship anyway. But more on AA yung pinupuntahan ko na meetings. So, and especially when I came back home, kasi, when I came back home, I had no money, I had no house, galit sa akin ng family ko. So, I only had the fellowship with me, like the support of the people.
Wow.
Sabi niya sa akin nung sponsor ko, sabi niya, just rely more on the program at this time, and everything will fall into place, which it did naman. It did. Actually, di ba, sabi nga dun sa A Vision for You na parang, ano ba yung sabi dun? The answers will come if
Yes.
your house is in order.
Yes.
Yes.
Back home, I did
Yes.
my amends, everything, because when I came home, ang dami kong question, bakit nangyari sa akin to? Ba't ako napauwi? You know, bakit
Mm.
ngayon ba kung kailan may bago akong jowa sa Dubai, you know?
Yeah.
Tapos,
My God!
we just moved in together into a new house that I personally chose.
Oh
So,
my God!
2 months pa lang kami doon, tapos kaka-start ko pa lang ng trabaho ko doon sa Dubai when I got deported. So parang biglang all of that, biglang wala.
Yeah.
Nawala lahat. So, parang ang dami ko talagang questions, parang, and nung time na yun, takot pa ako kasi sabi ko, oh my God, I'm gonna go back to the Philippines. All my friends are still drinking. And, you know, alcohol is so accessible everywhere here in Manila compared to Dubai. Kasi doon kasi you can
Yeah.
only buy it from the hotels or
Oh, yeah, like a hotel bar, diba? It's not like if you can't like just drink in public, you know, or there's no like 7-Eleven where you can like drink there. No, it's not, it doesn't work that way. I've been there, I've been there twice already. Oo.
So sabi ko, shit, kailangan ko talaga mag-meeting talaga parati pag uwi ko. So that's what I did. That's why I went to you know, the BGC meeting, went to Green Minds meeting.
Ah, yes.
In
Oo.
Makati.
The one in
Yeah.
the one in Greenbelt.
Yes.
That was one of my first home groups.
Oh, really?
Was NA. I didn't even know na may AA. Imagine. I'm an alcoholic, but I didn't know that there was AA because in yung rehab where I went to, the only meetings they had were Narcotics Anonymous. So I thought, yun eh, yun. Narcotics Anonymous lang. I had no idea. So everyone was talking about meth and yun nga. And I'm just like, am I the only one who doesn't do meth? Kasi lahat, it's cocaine, di ba? Ecstasy, yun yung, or K, ketamine. Pero never ko pa na-try ang meth, thank God. Pero, yun nga, yun, odd woman out ako doon.
Hindi naman.
Mm-mm.
No, but okay. So you mean to say, like, when I first saw you in BGC, di ba I met you in BGC, said,
Yes,
kakauwi mo
yes.
pa lang noon.
Yes.
Okay.
Kaka-start ko lang noon.
Wow, huh?
Oh, okay.
Parang ganon. Kaka-start ko lang. So nag 1 year ka sa Dubai. Pag uwi mo, start ko. Kasi 3 years ka, 2 years ako.
Yep.
Oh,
Oo
ganun pala
nga.
yun. Okay. So I just have a little bit of a question for you. Di ba you started with NA and you still go to NA, but you relate more to AA?
AA, yes.
Ah, you do? Okay.
You do,
Uh-huh.
you do. Because I
I
know
do.
I think a lot of also a lot of others also who are more on dapat, hindi naman sa dapat, no? Pero yung more on addict, sometimes they really relate
They
to
prefer AA.
they prefer AA.
Ah, okay.
I think it's because nung time kasi na yun, the way my sponsor put it, it's really not about the substance that you're using, but you know, your character defects. Tapos I totally understand na nung pagkatapos ko nung steps, which is true because you know, my alcoholism and my wanting to use drugs are just symptoms of a deeper problem.
Yes.
Character defects, and you know, it doesn't, you know, matter if it's alcohol or drugs, you know.
Yeah.
It's character defects that, you know, that alcohol and the drugs are just symptoms. So yun yung that's how I understood it.
Yeah.
Coming from my sponsor. So
I think I needed to get past like the entrance first, no? So basically the identification helped me first. People who drank like I did,
yes,
lived like I did, felt the way that I did. And then as I progressed with the steps and I learned more, that's when a lot of those things fell away. Although it still helps to identify with people who have a similar story, no? Or similar experiences. Like the similar things get them excited when they talk about their drinking and using days. But to your point, yeah, when it's no longer about just staying away from the drink and the drug, it's more about these things that are behind it, the character defects, the things that are
Definitely.
driving me, to behave in certain ways or feel certain things. So I can really relate, and that was very important for me in the beginning, because I think
Yeah.
when I came back and it was mostly NA also. At first there were some AA meetings, but most of the people that I knew, I was starting to get to know were in NA. There's something I can't quite annoy. There's an experience that they have that I can't quite connect to, not in the same way as like um, the hopeless drunks that like I've met along the way.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Yeah, for me, like definitely, like NA helped me a lot because that's when Green Minds, that's where I really started until like even all the conventions that I went to are all NA. And yeah, but eventually the head of like yung pinaka head of like the NA conventions, he said, Barbie, try mo naman ng AA. Next time. You imagine, it's like, because he knows that I'm really an alcoholic. It's like, you have to experience it for yourself. Kasi baka, you're gonna be able to relate more to it. And that's when I'm so grateful for that guy who told me that. Kasi, I mean, he always wants me to be around. That's why I still, at least once a week, I attend an AA meeting. Because I always want to remember where I came from. And that home group has really, really helped me so much. Pero yung the rest na, AA na talaga. Because they're the only ones that really understand, that thirst, yung parang that obsession to drink na, none of the people in NA kasi wake up and drink, right away. Yung parang pagising mo pa lang, yun na, And then I would ask them parang, you guys can. Kasi ako, I would have to drink first before I take drugs. And they're like, okay, kami, we don't need to drink, to take drugs. It's
Oh,
like,
no, that's weird.
no, it's true. Kasi I use the
I never
drugs
thought
to
about that.
balance me out, diba? Kunyari, if the drink is not hard enough, di papatungan ko ng Valium. Or if I'm like too drunk to drive, of course I'll take cocaine, right?
Yeah,
Ganon,
but it's the drink
ganon.
first. It's the drink first.
It's
If I'm
the
gonna get
drink
fucked up,
first. Like, I
drink
can't
muna.
do
Yeah.
blow without alcohol. My
Yeah.
heart will
Yan.
explode.
Gets ko yan. Kasi ako naman, like, pagka alam ko na may drugs, uunahin ko yung drugs.
Unahan mo na yung drugs.
Alcohol, yun yung magpapababa
Yun
sa
ang chaser mo.
Okay,
That's
okay.
what's gonna bring me down.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what's gonna bring me down. Pag walang drugs, alcohol, tapos pag meron, uy, pampano ko, longer drinking, ganyan. Pero pag walang drugs, alcohol lang talaga, diba?
Yeah.
Ganun ako. I mean, I identify kasi with both.
Yeah, yeah.
I get it kasi when people say na parang, you know what, I only take drugs when I need to go home because I need to be sober to drive. I get that because I need to be sober in front of my parents. So, right? But then, like, if I take the drugs first, it's like, kailangan kong mag-calm down para naman ako sa, diba? Kailangan ko naman humarap ng matino. Diba?
You're not like ganyan.
I never thought about that. I just like what I mean, like just so drunk but still trying to maintain in front of my parents. Failing every time. I never thought that, oh, maybe I should take something to like help me. No, it was like, no. I can do this.
Sometimes
struggle
you
up
need
the stairs.
help, Pirate Mike. You need
Sometimes
that.
you need the
It's
help.
only in your head. It's only in your head because when you face them, you're shit-faced.
Anyway,
Oh.
yes.
Oh,
No
yeah,
matter
yeah.
what you do, huli ka talaga.
Oh, yeah.
Because you think you're normal and you sound normal, but
Yeah,
you
they can
don't.
smell me from downstairs. Yeah, because I don't, you want to maintain, but then like I'll be sloppy, and then somehow think that I can still maintain later. Just it doesn't, I know, it doesn't make sense. Sid, I wanted to ask you because there are two distinct parts of your story, and you mentioned the year that you spent in Dubai, and you got into recovery again there. What was different? What do you think? If you think about the experiences before in Singapore, where you were struggling, and then when it finally clicked in Dubai, what was different?
The only difference was that time I fully surrendered to the program. So
Mm.
before, hesitant pa ako to really, work the steps or really do what the suggestions of my sponsors or, pag sinasabihan ako, even when I first got into the room, sabi sa akin, oh, wag ka muna bumalik ng Singapore kasi it's your playground, ganyan. What I did was pumunta pa rin ako. So I relapsed. My first relapse happened in Singapore after going to the program. So, hindi talaga ako nakikinig. Tapos, I wasn't working on my steps and all. The only difference nung 2021 when I got back was I really listened. So, and I really worked on my steps. And because that time, sabi ko, baka pag nag-relapse pa ako dito at mahuli ako, wala na. Hindi na ako makakabalik ng Pilipinas pa. So, isa rin yan sa worries ko talaga. So, sabi ko, I really need to get sober this time. Because wala na talaga. I didn't have a job. Wala akong ano. Tapos, unti-unti, I reclaimed my life back. So,
Yeah.
sabi ko, mukhang okay to tuloy-tuloy ko na. So, so as in, and right now kapag may kumare, may resentment ako or may thoughts ako, message ko na agad, my sponsor or a recovering buddy. So, ginagamit ko na talaga yung tools talaga this time. Unlike before na, andyan lang naman yan, yung mga ganon. So, and even though na medyo hindi pasok sa schedule ko, kahit nasa bahay ako, I do online meetings. So, before kasi parang mag-meeting lang ako kapag gusto ko. Now, I make it a point na I do a meeting, at least 2 times a week and 1 face-to-face during Saturdays in BGC. So, as in, na talaga yung kasi na-realize ko na I just don't really want to go back to where I was before. So, and that's the reason why I'm still in the program, There are still a lot of bad days, but it's still much better than, when I'm not sober. So, mas gusto ko na talaga. I mean, this is my life now. And accepted ko na talaga na, na I can't go out partying with my friends anymore, hindi na talaga. Accepted ko na siya that I'm an alcoholic, I'm a drug addict. I'll always be, and I need to be going to my meetings to keep me sober. So, yun lang, acceptance siguro and total surrender. So, yeah. Yun.
What would you say, did you go through, like, I know that you didn't have a job, you didn't have like all of these things. Would you say that that was your bottom, or did you really have a very specific bottom that made you really commit to the program?
Actually, ang dami kong bottoms nung time na yun eh. Like, I remember, pero this was pre-recovery Like,
yes.
ang dami ko pala talaga pinagdaanan in the past. And now, when I got into the program and nung na-experience ko na what it's like being sober and, na-experience ko na yung gift of recovery, that's when I realized na ayoko na talaga bumalik doon.
Okay.
Yung pinaka-doubt ko nung nasa Dubai kasi wala talaga akong choice noon. Like, I didn't have a job. I didn't have enough money to support myself. Siguro buti na lang may free accommodation pa ako ng time na yon. But it's either, I go to a meeting or, mahuli ako because using drugs or, like makulong or madisgrasya. Wala pa naman akong insurance that time nung andun ako. So sabi ko, program na to.
Amazing, no? But then, okay, sige. Shift tayo ng konti.
Okay.
I mean, like, diba, syempre, this is a new life for us and everything. I want to know kasi, like, I know that you're part of the LGBTQIA.
Yes.
How is dating and recovery for you, being in that,
I was gonna ask the same
Dating?
question.
I want
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Nag-grinder ka pa ba?
Actually, gusto ko malaman, paano si Jowa na naiwan mo sa Dubai?
No, actually, mas mahirap for him nung na-deport ako kasi wala siyang programa, wala siyang friends,
Yes.
wala siyang support system, wala rin siyang family doon and all. Well, nung pumasok ko sa sa program, nagde-date pa ako noon, alam mo yun, wala pa rin akong self-respect for myself kasi hindi ko pa naman na-touch yung steps ko, especially step
Yes.
inventory, ganyan. So, wala pa.
Yes.
Wala pang, wala pa. So,
Wala pa yung
pagod sa time,
self-love,
so
di
date
ba?
here and then date, I still feel sorry about myself. I feel so dirty, ganyan.
Dating in the fellowship or ano? Sa
I only
app?
dated once in the fellowship sa Dubai. So, still I felt that, like sabi ko. Anyway, so I think nakwento ko na yata to when I first met, parang magti 3 months pa lang ako noon back in Dubai. Tapos parang first date namin, napag-usapan. So what happened to your last relationship? Ganyan, ganyan. Tapos sabi ko, I've been single for 5 years. Sabi ko, and I don't speak to my ex anymore. Ikaw? Tapos sabi niya, yeah, I've been I just kicked out my fiance of 14 years because he's an alcoholic. So parang ako,
Oh God.
what am I gonna tell him? So, well, eventually on our second date, sinabi ko na sa kanya na I'm in the program, I'm also an alcoholic, and blah, blah, blah. Pero nung time na yon, sinabi niya talaga sa akin, right there and then, look, I think you're great, but I don't think this is gonna work out because I just came out from a relationship with an alcoholic, hindi, and you're an
Yeah.
alcoholic. So medyo red flag ka for me. Parang ganun ako. And for me naman, sabi ko, 3 months pa lang ako noon. So, di ba sabi nila, you can't date for a year and stuff. But eventually, we saw each other again after a few months. And then, na-rekindle. And he supported me all the way. Like, sumasama siya sa mga meetings and all. He's been very supportive. And also, I think I'm super lucky. I consider him one of the gifts of sobriety. Someone who's very supportive of my journey,
Yes.
So,
and
3
that's what's
months.
good about being honest, 'di ba? You have to be honest from the start, especially that you knew that he was with an alcoholic, 'di ba? Imagine if you had lied, and I don't think he would have appreciated that. But because you were honest, 'di ba? And then you showed that you were really serious about the program, 'di ba? Then go, 'di ba?
Then go.
Then go.
Diba?
I was doing the
all.
math. You did not wait a year before you guys.
Di talaga. Sabi niya 3
yeah.
months, 'di ba? You
That's
said
why,
3
yeah.
months.
3 months, yeah.
Oh, and you guys are still together. So
We're still together, so.
yeah, that rule needs to go.
And you know what?
Running discussion.
Even though I'm back in the Philippines, he still meets some of my recovering friends in Dubai. He even meets my sponsor in Dubai. They have coffee together, lunch together, so.
Oh, that's
But where did you meet?
On Grindr.
Grindr pa rin. Sabi sa'yo eh. Oh,
Success story ba yun?
success story. Alam mo,
Success.
it's not, you know what? I'll just tell you, for someone who also does the whole online dating thing, it's not the online dating platform that's evil or like bad. It's you. It's you as a person. Because if you are, you haven't worked, shut up. They're laughing, by the way. They're laughing at me. Wait lang. I'm trying to explain a very good point. Okay. It's not okay. Basically, if you are addicted to like online dating platforms, it's because of your insecurity, because you're looking for love. You're looking for something that you don't have. But if you do enter like the dating world again, and you've done your steps, you've already listed down all your resentments, you've made amends with people, I'm telling you right now, you are going to attract very different people compared to the ones that you used to find attractive. Iba talaga eh. Because the change has to, I always say this, when things change inside of you, things change around you. So kahit na parang na-meet mo siya sa Grindr ulit, okay lang yan, because it's actually you. It's you that's changed. The app will always be there, and there'll always be assholes, and there'll be addicts and all of these things. But if you attract a good person, it's because you are able to have the vision or that sight to be able to see who's good, right? In those apps. Kasi if you haven't worked on yourself, you're gonna keep attracting the same addicts, di ba? The same people.
Actually, may higher power moment nga ako dun eh. Kasi parang, di ba, when he said na, I can't do this with someone who's also an alcoholic, yung ganyan, I let go. Sabi ko, kahit na gustong-gusto ko siya, sabi ko, sige. Kinausap ko yung sponsor ko, sabi ko, gusto ko siya, but sabi ng sponsor ko, well, you have to let go. So I let go, sabi ko sa kanya.
Mm-mm.
Sabi ko, Lord, kayo na pong bahala, ganyan, ganyan. If it's not for me, then, sabi nga nila, di ba, rejection is, ano yun? Sabi na sa recovery, it's actually a protection. Rejection is actually a protection. So, kinonsider
Yes.
protection for my sobriety.
Yeah.
So sabi ko, sige, maybe it's not for me. But if it's for me, pabalikin nyo. 2 months after, bumalik. Sabi ko sa
Woo!
power ko, Lord, ang bilis.
No, kasi it's true,
This is
di
it.
ba? Pag if you don't let go and then you're there groveling and begging, that's not very attractive. It's not. Di ba? Nobody wants someone na super cody. Di ba? They want to see someone who's like, okay, ayaw mo sa akin. Di ba? Bye. Di ba? O, they come back. They
Kasi
come
hindi ko
back.
pinilit eh. Sabi ko, nilet go ko na.
Oo.
Sabi ko, Lord, ikaw na to. Let's do this.
Yeah, let's do this. You know, I remember I did the same thing with my sponsor. I said, kasi I had to write down yung sa ano ko to, anong step sa 10th. Sa 10th, parang she told me to write down my resentments that have a fear this time. And sabi ko sa kanya, I have a fear that this person may not like me as much as I'd want him to, or maybe after a while he and I won't be talking that much anymore kasi nga he already returned to where he lived, ganyan. And she told me that when it comes to other people, you cannot control how they feel. No matter what you do, you just cannot. That's up to God. That's up to your higher power talaga. So yun, I thought about it. I was like, yeah, no matter what I do, na parang try to show that, I'm worth it. I'm all, you're trying to manipulate the situation.
Yeah.
So you just, tama yun, let go. Ayan.
Let go. Even when you said, you still attract I was thinking about that when you said, Barbie, that you still attract like the wrong kind of people, like drug addicts or, other. For me lang, no, I know that it's not. Yeah, I'm probably attracting them if I still haven't let go of those things. But then also, if I'm being honest, I'm still secretly seeking them naman. Right? I'm not actually seeking anything. I am very much aware of when I'm still attracted by and looking for trouble. I might not always be aware of how I'm suddenly trying to structure my life and my day, to like get me closer to the trouble, right? But if I'm working on the steps, then I'm like, this is what I'm doing. I'm obviously like trying to manipulate my life again to get, some kind of forbidden fruit. So it's weird because it is like the law of attraction and the things that like I buy into that, but then it's informed naman from the attitude and the thing that I'm seeking. So if I'm not seeking something that's well, then I'm gonna continue to like descend into the darkness because I'm still finding something there.
Yeah. And it's like if you're still attracted to chaos, it's basically like because you're used to it, right? You're used to the drama, diba? Because when we were using and we were drinking, that was our life. Everything was miserable. Everything was like fighting with family, diba? Nothing was peaceful. There was no serenity. So parang we got used to that place. That when it's all quiet and everything is okay na, peaceful, parang you're like, something's missing.
Boring.
Something's boring, diba? I miss where's the drama? Where's the sapakan? Where is that? But later
Where are
on
the
nga,
red flags?
diba?
Red flags.
O diba?
God.
You wanna, si
find a
Carbs,
circle.
si Carbs, ano yan eh, let me take care of you, come to
Oh.
mama.
No, it's not
That's
that.
the first criteria.
I mean, like, kasi when actually, sabi ng sponsor ko sa akin, you can't date until 5 years.
5 years.
What?
I have never heard that.
She told me 5 years. Parang
I'm
ako,
surprised you didn't fire your sponsor right there and then.
Ako, syempre, not that I'm looking for someone, right? I'm not actively looking, but then like I get that point wherein like you're attracted to that chaos. I guess for me, kasi what attracts me is a kindred spirit, somebody who's known pain like I do,
Yeah.
Mhm.
and then and not exactly dwelling in the pain, but then like someone who's just in it with me, and that we
Yeah.
know what to do about it, diba?
That's
And
positive
then of
naman when you
course,
say that.
I mean, of course,
It's true.
Yeah.
diba? That's what I like. Na parang, alam mo yun, I want somebody who's in touch with that kind of emotion
Of
because
course.
I am.
Yeah.
And if I don't get that from someone, it's not gonna work. That's me kasi alam mo yun, I'm very emotional when it comes to relationships.
Yeah.
I want to talk.
Mm.
You're gonna sit your ass down and we're gonna talk about this. If you're gonna ignore me, I'm gonna be more I'm gonna lose it. It's like
Yeah.
Yeah.
you have to reciprocate what I'm giving out.
Mhm.
And sometimes I know that people are like, nah, dude, you're so clingy, you're so dramatic, ang drama mo. Hindi. It's not that because I'm a drama. Because I want it to be out there so that we can deal with it. Hindi na yun
Mm,
nagtatago kasi pahahabain mo pa eh. Yun
Mm,
ang ayaw ko,
mm.
yung pinapahaba. Papahabain mo yung
Actually,
usapan.
I guess
Papahabain
you
mo yung
want to be able to
mm,
talk to someone who thinks as deeply, right? As deeply as you do. And it doesn't have to be a fellow addict. It doesn't have to be someone who's in recovery. It could be someone who's gone through a
yeah.
lot of things in life. It could be someone who was, has gone through a divorce. It could have been like, just a lot of things, or they could be also a son or a daughter of an alcoholic, so
Yeah.
they completely understand, they know
Yeah.
what you're going through, they know stuff like that. Like my best friend, she's in the UK. The reason why she understands me is not because she's an addict, it's because she's the daughter of her parents are both addicts. So when I made the amends, actually she told me nga recently, when I made amends with her, she said that through you, I got to see my parents in a different way.
Oh,
She said,
wow.
yeah, can you believe that? The last time I talked to her, she said, because I love you, because I can relate with you, all of a sudden now I'm beginning to understand my parents and I can forgive them more for everything that they did to me because they're just human. Because when we see our parents, it's like, you're not allowed to fuck up, you're not allowed, you're not real people. You did such a bad job raising me. But when your friend is going through it, we kind of see them in a different light, diba? And right now, we're already, well, I don't know about you, Sid, pero kami, titos and titos na kami.
Pa rin
So,
yata ako.
so parang we're at that same age. We're at that same age when her parents were using,
Mm,
So it's like, yeah, so those are the kinds of people that I also parang have very deep friendships with because
Yeah.
they've gone through a lot also in their lives. And they're no longer angry. It's like people who have parang program rin. Like they've seen a therapist, they've forgiven people in their lives. Kasi 'di ba, like they say that the 12 stepper in the wild. That's what they're called. They're
I like
they're
that.
actually,
Oh,
yeah, they're
I
not
love that.
normies. They're not addicts or alcoholics. They just happen to be people who are practicing the 12 steps
Yeah.
just naturally.
Yeah.
Because the 12 steps naman come from somewhere, right? Part Mike, you talked about this.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Mm-mm.
mean,
Yeah.
spiritual growth and healing,
Mhm.
it's not an old idea, whether you tie it back to like Christian roots or whatever, spiritual, mystical roots, it's all, you call it a spiritual awakening, self-actualization, a psychic change, whatever. Like, when you're there, and then there's things that you do to maintain it. I like what you guys said. I also enjoy finding kindred spirits, right? Like some of the people that I love dearest are like in this square right now. It doesn't so matter about matter the baggage that we came in. It's if we're in that common journey to try to improve and have a better life, and then it's all positive vibes. I guess what I'm saying is um I know trouble when she walks in the door, right? And that's more what I'm talking about than what the credentials are. It's like, am I going to be moving towards that again when everything's perfectly fine, or am I going to continue to make healthy choices for myself and the people around me?
Isn't it funny how well, at least for me, because like my first instinct when I see somebody walk in, like this really like good looking guy or something like that, there's just this distinct thing that I look for. Bad boy ba yan?
And that's human. And that's
Hindi ko
human.
alam. It's just like the first thing answer ko, kasi gusto ko bad boy yan eh. Pag medyo malinis yung itsura.
Parang,
Ay,
ito mukhang
Okay.
salbahe.
pero hindi ako kaya. Parang
Oo.
Ako kaya.
Because that's how hardwired I am as an alcoholic and an addict. The chaos inside me, diba? Parang so the first thing that I see, my physical attraction is boom, give me the bad boy vibe. You can have the vibe, but that doesn't mean that you are, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yun. I'm just saying that, if
Recovered bad boy.
Right? Recovered bad boy, let's do it. Diba? Why not? I'm just saying, if you give off that vibe, but you're not the bad, that's I'm just saying that's because that's just for me, because that's how, I guess that's how physically I'm attracted to a person.
Yeah.
Because I can see that they're wearing their hearts on their sleeves.
Mm-hmm.
And
I mean, come on, you're not alone. How many times have we been in a meeting when it's like the new boy or the new girl, and all of a sudden, you can feel the
Even in an online meeting.
there's
Even
like
in an online meeting. I always text carbs in the meeting. Diba?
Diba?
Pag nakikita mo na parang may, I already know what she's thinking. So sometimes I even message her in advance.
Yun.
One time I told her, married, 3 children. That's it. Married, 3 children. No.
Or even the chat group. You're not even in a meeting, our recovery chat group. It's like somebody gets popped in and it's like, hi guys. And then all the helpful messages that come in like the span of 5 minutes.
Pero you know what, nagamit ko siya before kasi parang sabi sa akin nung sponsor ko dati, if your only reason you're coming to the meeting is to see hot men or hot guys, just get on the fucking meeting,
Yeah, whatever gets you there sometimes.
Whatever gets you there.
Yeah, so I may crush ako noon. So talaga I made sure to go to the meeting. So.
Oh, diba?
Dagdag motivation din naman yun, diba? Oh, why?
Yeah.
My
Ate, hindi
sponsors
naman
told
ako
me that
nag-a-attend ng
before.
Thursday meetings.
Yeah.
Online. Ngayon nag-a-attend na. So.
Oo.
Wait, what are we trying to say?
Oh my God. That's true, no? Sid, napansin ko yan. Madalas ang Thursday.
Yeah, but I was in the meeting, so.
Oh,
Yeah.
diba?
Doesn't matter.
Saya, diba?
Yeah.
Oh, saya.
You come for the heat, you stay for the God. Pwede na.
Diba? Stay.
We need some incentives. We're just human. We are not saints.
Oo nga naman. My God. Magpakatotoo na tayo. I'm just saying. Magpakatotoo na.
The best is when your sponsors say that, because my sponsors told me that too. Like exactly that. Whatever gets you in the meeting, it's like, but then what happens next, right? Do I follow the trail of breadcrumbs down to like the candy house, or do I catch myself? But yeah, whatever gets us there sometimes, because it keeps in early sobriety, they used to tell me guys encouraged me to attend men's stag meetings, so men only meetings, and their pitch was like, because then you can really talk from your heart without the distractions of tits and ass. And I was like, I don't know if I like that.
No, every single, okay, when when Carbs and I went to this meeting, women don't usually go to this. And every time when we went there, they're like, oh, thank God. We're tired of
God, there are women here.
like sometimes we just want to listen to a woman's perspective. I'm like, no, you're just tired of just being all around men, you know, you just kind of like
Women's perspective. Yeah, right, brother.
Yeah.
Yeah.
and
Dicks
my
all
ass.
around. Dicks all around.
No, it's always like a sausage fest, right?
No, but I appreciate the naman na, you know, like the old timers give us these suggestions when, you know, in early recovery and all. Not that I take them all, of course, but then like, you know, when it's said to you, parang sometimes, it will just enter your head and then it's really helpful.
Yeah.
You know, like, yeah, I have to admit that what my sponsor said, na parang don't date until 5 years. For some reason, like parang when I'm about to like engage with a guy or whatever it is, ganyan, parang I have to think also. It gives me thinking like, what the hell am I looking for?
Yeah.
Diba? What the
Oh,
hell am I
good.
Mhm.
Okay. Sometimes it's like, I mean, like, I catch myself, parang, okay, what am I looking for ba?
Mm.
Diba? And so, like, it makes me pause to analyze myself and to realize na parang, hey, maybe, you know, it's not the right time. Hindi nga talaga siya time pa. Na, ano ka na, diba? Yung ganun eh. Yung, I guess it's, they say it so that when an opportunity for it to pop up in your head comes up, it's actually helpful.
Mm.
And I appreciate that. Diba? Minsan naman. Diba? Pero, yeah, maybe I would love to date. But,
Carbs is anti dating apps.
Why?
Oh, see? Why?
God. Sige, ganito. Sige, when we see each other again, kayo gumawa ng profile ko.
Yes.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
Good, tara.
Wow.
Let's do it.
Binavolunteer
time.
ko sa mga friends ko yan.
Were you expecting them to say no, Carbs? Was
Uh,
it like-
Well, you know what? Because like I've been, you know, there's a lot of success stories. These two are proof to that. Okay, there's success stories din naman. And like, you know, I was hesitant because like I always thought that the men on there are as desperate as I am. So you know,
Of course. That's what makes it
I was gonna say,
I don't
That's
want
what
that.
makes it
Yung
good.
parang,
Everybody's looking for the same thing. But I always told Carbs that you have to have a very thick stomach. You have to kiss a lot of
Okay.
frogs
Alright.
first. You're not just gonna like meet the one, like your first freaking conversation. You're gonna meet
Takes
a
a
bunch
while.
of dicks. And you're also gonna see a lot of dick pics as well, you know?
know.
Like biglang hi, tapos biglang dick pic. Ay, punyeta. You know, but then all of a sudden you'll have this conversation that's just so great.
Yeah.
And then they'll ghost you bigla. And you're like, what?
I don't, right? There's this thing, and I know, I'm just hesitant because like there's a lot of things that can go wrong talaga.
Yeah, there are a lot of things that go wrong,
Be
but
fast.
but
Be fast.
but what if you do hit the jackpot
Yeah.
that one time? What if? You know,
What?
you just have to make yourself vulnerable. That's what it is. Read the book of Brené Brown.
how are we
Say, you
here
have to-
again? I feel like
Yeah.
in our podcast we can almost make a drinking game for how many times we go back to like dating and recovery and every
I know,
fucking
dating and
episode.
recovery.
No, I'm
And
sorry.
we're back. But
I'm
it's
sorry.
season
No, because, like,
2.
I was curious din naman. Kasi diba, you know, like,
And we're back.
no, because I'm curious, like, no, I was really curious about Sid because, you know, he's part of the LGBTQ community, and you know, a lot of fellows that are also part of the LGBTQ community. Parang I've heard this. I don't know if it's true for you. Like, you know, drinking and drugging is the way that they
yeah.
date, or
Yeah.
like, you know, did
Yes.
that really change for you? Was that like something that you had to parang, shucks, paano to? How am I gonna get the confidence? Or how am I gonna work this? When I was out, this is how it went in that certain community or something like that. This is what I hear lang, and I want to know if that's what your experience is.
Well, when I first got back into the room, medyo mahirap talaga. Like, I didn't go out with guys nung time na yon. Pero yung mga nakadate ko when I was, first 3 months was they offered the drink and I said, I don't drink and they were totally okay with it. Tapos nung medyo na-gauge ko na mukhang uminom to or, they're still out there partying, then it's a no na. Kumbaga,
Yes.
next na. So, on to the next one na ako. So,
Oo. Next.
next, ganon. Tapos yun, I met which is, yun na.
Yeah. Just have to put yourself out there, but you have to be ready. And yun nga, that you're ready to be able to, yun nga, that your eyes are open. And I always said, when I've already deleted my apps now, but during that time, I was like, I always say, I pray to God, I said, please give me the eyes to see. And just like what you said, no, Sid, yun nga, pag nakita mo na parang malakas yata uminom to. It's like before you just kind of, that's not really a deal breaker. But now it is, 'di ba? Ngayon deal breaker na yan eh. So, yun, ganun lang. You just have to you just have to stick to what you want.
Yeah.
What you're looking for. You have to be very clear with what you're looking for.
That's interesting. It brought up what you said, Carbs, too, and like this whole discussion point about that particular culture. I know, again, Sid, you and I have had this sidebar before, but something that I've talked about with friends also was like regarding just dating and sex life, in the community, and how I had a friend before that was talking about like thinking about starting a meeting for LGBT people within recovery, and getting that going. And one of the questions that they had for me was, just picking my brain was like, they had this apprehension though, because they didn't want it to become a meeting where everyone was just hooking up. And they said that, and I told you this, Sid, right? Because they said, being a gay person in the Philippines is you have to be promiscuous. And so our discussion was like, I told them like, I don't know if that's ano naman, like,
That's
you're
like a
saying that has to be,
stigma.
yeah, and like you don't have to lean into it. I go back to what's that part in the book where it's like some of us have tried to hold on to our old ideas and the result was nil until we let go absolutely. So like if you're gonna say that because I want to be a part of this community, I have to engage in things that could be harmful. I don't think that's like that's not real,
Yeah. Yeah.
Because the thing with the LGBT or gay dating apps here, super how am I gonna say this in English? Parang lantaran ang drug use. Like I can easily goes onto shabu.
Yes.
So andali, super accessible na lang talaga ngayon, especially on the app. So that's why nung time na yun, and nung wala pa akong boyfriend, ang hirap to not get into the app because I want to have sex, but it's also a big risk for me kasi I know ang daming users dito, and every time I see or meet someone na who's using, then that's the end story for me, and probably relapse again. So and then this is also good now that like and thank you for inviting me, guys, and sharing my story of being a recovering being a gay person in recovery, that because there's a lot of gay men out there who doesn't know that there's actually this program that we have that could actually help them, parang recently lang, and my boyfriend knows about this one because I recently downloaded the app again, just for, just to get connections and contacts and stuff, but not to date naman. And I saw a lot of, people who are inviting for drugs and stuff like that. So sabi
openly.
So sabi ko, ganun na talaga. And again, which brings me to dun sa topic ko kanina na kaya din kasi tumataas yung cases ng HIV dito is because when you're on shabu, definitely no condom sex yan. Wala nang
you're not thinking about that eh.
So, kaya din siya lumalakas. So, ngayon, sabi ko, naisip ko, bakit hindi ko na lang gawin na parang, not agenda, but, to open my story so people will know that there's actually help and, and to get everyone tested, because it's not the end of the world if you get HIV anymore. So, unlike in the 80s or 70s.
It's a death sentence dati.
But I'm also not saying to go out there and have sex. I'm just saying,
Of
get
course,
yourself
of course.
tested. Yun lang yun. And don't be scared, because you're gonna live a healthy, happy life. Like, yun.
And early detection is key, diba? It's very important.
So,
So can I actually invite our listeners to a LGBTQIA convention?
yes.
Okay, all right. So I just want to invite all of you. It's called the but everyone is invited. But it is called Women and LGBTQIA++ Convention. It will be on October 18, 19, and 20, 2024 at the Aristocrat Restaurant, 432 San Andres Street, Malate, Manila, Philippines. And Carbs and I are going to be speakers for this convention. And also Sid!
Oh my God. Oh my gosh. Oh my God. Thank you so much, Sid. You know what? I learned so much from you tonight.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, I really
My
did.
favorites. Because like this is really, you told your story, you shared everything, and this is going to be such an episode where awareness is the
Mm-mm.
and I'm so happy that you accepted our invitation to this podcast.
Thank you.
Amazing.
Yes.
You are an amazing person, and I'm so glad that I know you. Grabe.
Yes.
Ang
Oo.
galing. Ang galing. I love it.
Yeah.
Actually,
So much.
to be honest, like, kinakabahan talaga ako, and I don't really, like, gusto ko na sanang sabihin na cancel ko na lang to, pero again, sabi sa akin ng sponsor ko, well, you don't know, say no to service. So, and I consider this service. So, hindi ko na talaga sinusuway yung sponsor ko sa mga.
And as you know, kwentuhan lang to,
Yeah.
right? We're just all like,
making me feel comfortable. Yeah.
Oh, diba?
So thanks again, Sid. So
Thank
cheers to
you.
that.
Cheers.
Cheers.
We're gonna give you your own mug.
Look forward to that. Thank you.
Cheers.
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 This has been an episode of the Coco Recovery Podcast. If you would like to get in touch with our hosts or guests, please email us at cocorecoverypodcast@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.